My wife was always on her phone. Said it was work stress. Then she got into a car accident, and I had to bring her charger to the hospital. Her lock screen lit up. Love you too, T. I unlocked it. Read everything. Months. Photos. A shared notes app full of fake excuses. I waited. Picked her up. Brought her home. Then held a welcome home dinner with both our families. Right before dessert, I stood up and said, she survived a car crash. Too bad our marriage didn't. Then I played her voicemails over the speaker. Her dad left crying. We were married almost 9 years. I met Renee at a bowling alley in Puyallup back when I was 27. She smiled with her whole face, and she didn't try to act cute, she just was. I like that. We started dating, and within a year, we were married. It wasn't a big wedding, just some close family at a park and a barbecue after. Simple. For most of our marriage, I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but solid. I worked 2 jobs. Weekday warehouse, weekend HVAC gigs. She worked in healthcare admin. Always busy, always stressed. That's what she told me. I believed it. I started noticing her pulling away about 1.5 years before the crash. She was glued to her phone more and more. Said it was her team, some overnight shifts needing coverage, some emergency paperwork. Sometimes she'd stay in the bathroom for 20 to 30 minutes with her phone. Said it was anxiety. I didn't question it. Then the lies got sloppy. She'd tell me she was working late, but come home smelling like perfume that wasn't hers. She'd act annoyed when I asked simple things like, "What did you eat?" Or "Who were you with?" Once, she came home on a Thursday night with her blouse buttoned wrong and a smear of lipstick on the collar. I stared at it. She stared at me, then said she must have leaned on a coworker's shoulder while comforting them. It didn't make sense, but I nodded anyway. I didn't want to believe she could do something like that. I blamed myself. Thought maybe I wasn't giving her enough attention. I started getting home earlier when I could. I brought her favorite coffee on Saturdays. Took her car in for oil changes without her asking. She said thanks, but her eyes never smiled when she said it. Then one rainy Wednesday, I got a call from the local hospital. They said my wife had been in a car accident. Some teenager ran a red light and slammed into the passenger side of her Honda Civic. She was lucky. Bruised ribs, mild concussion, but no serious damage. I rushed there. When I got to her room, she looked pale, tired, and small in that hospital bed. She opened her eyes and asked me for her phone charger. Her voice cracked when she said it. I grabbed her purse and found the charger. Her phone was dead. I plugged it into the wall near her bed. A few seconds later, the screen lit up. Love you too, T. I stared at it. Not work. Not anxiety. Not her team. Just T. Her phone unlocked with her birthday. I tapped it in without thinking. It opened. There they were. Texts with someone saved as T. Hundreds of them. Laughing. Flirting. Complaining about me. Making plans. Photos. Her in a hotel bed. Him standing behind her, shirtless, taking a mirror selfie. Her wearing lingerie I'd never seen before. Some messages were dirty. Some were just sweet, like they were in a damn relationship. Then I saw the Notes app. Shared between the 2 of them. Pages of fake excuses. Scripts for things to say to me. If he asks about Tuesday, say your coworker needed help. Say you were doing laundry at your mom's. Remember to mention you have cramps Friday. He won't ask questions. I closed the app. Sat down next to her. She was drifting off to sleep, groggy from pain meds. I didn't wake her. I just sat there, phone still warm in my pocket. Something changed in me that night. I didn't cry. I didn't feel rage. It was like I was watching someone else's life crash and burn. But it was mine. I decided to wait. She was hurt, but alive. So I picked her up when she was discharged a few days later. Drove slow, asked her if she was comfortable, listened to her talk about how scary it all was. She cried a little. Said she didn't know what she'd do without me. I told her she'd never have to find out. That weekend, I called both our families. Told them I wanted to throw Renee a small, welcome home dinner. Just something cozy. Her parents, my parents, a few cousins. Home-cooked meal, good wine, a surprise for her. She lit up when I told her. On the outside, I played it perfectly. Smiled. Kissed her forehead. Asked her what dessert she wanted. Made sure she was resting while I cleaned up the house. But inside, I was dead. And getting ready. The dinner was set for Saturday night. I spent all week planning it. Cleaned the whole house top to bottom. Bought her favorite candles. Ordered lasagna from her mom's old recipe that I'd never actually tried to make before, just so it felt real. Picked up red wine. Set the table with the good plates we only used at Thanksgiving. And then I dug through her phone every night after she went to bed. I started saving things. Screenshots of messages. Voicemails from him. One where she told him she loved him more than she ever loved anyone. That one hit me hard. I saved it to a flash drive. There was another voicemail from him, Trent. He was drunk. Said he wished I'd just disappear. Said she deserved better. That he'd give her the kind of life she was meant to have. Called me a blue-collar loser. That one sealed it. Friday night. I told Renee I was nervous about the dinner. That I just wanted everything to go smoothly. She kissed me on the cheek and told me I was sweet. She had no idea. Saturday came. The house smelled like garlic and bread and wine. People started showing up around 5. Her mom brought flowers. My dad gave her a long hug and joked that she owed God a favor for making it out of that crash. She smiled, thanked everyone, sat at the head of the table like a queen. We toasted to her health, laughed, talked about stupid stuff. I poured wine and kept the mood light. After dinner, everyone moved to the living room. I stood up, said I had a surprise. Everyone quieted down. Renee looked at me with a small, tired smile. I could see she was relaxed for the first time in weeks. Perfect. I reached into my pocket, pulled out a small Bluetooth speaker, and turned it on. Then I said, Renee survived a car crash. Too bad our marriage didn't. I hit play. The room went quiet. Then, her voice came through. Sweet. Whispery. Saying, I wish I could fall asleep in your arms again tonight. His voice followed, low and smug. Just tell him you're on call again. He'll believe it. Gasps. Silence. Her mom covered her mouth. Another voicemail played. This one from Trent. I don't know how you live with that guy. You're too good for him. You're sexy and smart, and he's just filler. You said it yourself. I looked right at her. She was frozen, face pale, mouth half open. Then I looked at her dad. Still think your daughter's an angel? He stood up, didn't say a word, just walked out of the house. Her mom followed, crying. My own mom was in tears. My dad shook his head and muttered, Jesus Christ. Renee was trembling. How did you? I cut her off. It's been months. I read everything. You had a whole notes app for your lies. You wrote scripts like you were in a damn play. You think I'm stupid? She tried to speak again, but I wasn't done. I pointed to her phone, which I'd left on the table. I hope he was worth it. Because I'm done. We're done. I walked out. I didn't stay for dessert. The fallout started almost immediately. I didn't even make it to the end of the block before my phone started blowing up. Renee first, then her mom, then her cousin Megan, who had the nerve to text me. You didn't have to humiliate her like that. Really? I didn't have to. I ignored it all and kept driving. I had a room booked at a cheap motel off I-5 just for that night. I needed space, silence, somewhere I could stare at a wall and try to believe my life hadn't just gone up in smoke. Around midnight, I got a voicemail from Trent. You petty little piece of shit, he started. You think playing voicemails makes you some kind of hero? You think humiliating her fixes anything? You lost. She chose me. She told me everything now, and trust me, she'll never go back to you. That last line stuck with me. She'll never go back to you. The arrogance. The smugness. Like I was the mistake. I didn't reply, but I saved the voicemail. Next day, I called a lawyer. Took most of what we had in our joint checking account, left her with enough to cover rent and bills for the month, but not enough to feel secure. Froze the savings she didn't know I had. I'd been squirreling money into a separate account for years, just for emergencies. Guess this counted. I also sent her mom all the screenshots. Every last one. With dates and times. A full PDF of the notes app with her little fake excuses. No commentary. Just the truth. She responded with 2 words. I'm sorry. That night, I went home to grab some clothes. Renee was there, waiting, sitting on the couch in a hoodie and sweatpants like she was trying to look small. Her eyes were red. I know I messed up, she said. But that dinner, you didn't have to destroy me like that. I paused by the hallway. You destroyed us long before that night, I said. You had a choice. You made it over and over. She got up. He lied to me too, okay? He told me things about you, said you were cheating, said you were hiding stuff. I stared at her. You believed him over me? Silence. Then she said, I was lonely. I didn't think you saw me anymore. That hit harder than I wanted it to, because a part of me, deep down, knew she wasn't completely wrong. I had pulled away the last couple years. Work beat me down. I came home tired, quiet, disconnected. But I didn't cheat. I didn't lie. I didn't hide. I looked her in the eyes. You could have said something. We could have fought for it. But instead you fed him lies about me and laughed behind my back. That's not loneliness. That's betrayal. She cried. I didn't. Then she said it. I broke it off with him. I didn't care. Too late. As I packed my bags, she followed me to the door. What are you going to do now? I looked at her one last time. Clean up the mess you made. I moved into a small one-bedroom place in Lakewood. Nothing special. Just quiet. I didn't take much from the house. Just clothes, tools, some photo albums from before everything went to hell. Let her keep the rest. I didn't want anything that had her scent on it. The divorce moved fast. Washington's a no-fault state. I gave her the house. She thought it was mercy. It wasn't. It was a trap. You see, 6 months before the accident, I refinanced that house. Quietly. We were both on the title, but I was the one who handled the paperwork. Renee never paid attention to finances. She thought it was boring. She just signed what I told her to. Back then, I was refinancing to free up some money for repairs. But I never did the repairs. What I did do was take out a home equity line of credit under both our names. Big enough to sting. And when the divorce hit, I didn't touch it. I just let the debt sit. The house was hers now. So was the debt. She called me the day she found out. Screaming. Crying. I stayed quiet until she said, "You tricked me." I said, "No. You just never read anything." Kind of like our marriage. I hung up. Trent, for his part, didn't last. About 2 months after the dinner, he dumped her. Sent her a cold, 2-line text. This was a mistake. Don't contact me again. That was it. She tried to win him back. I know because she left her iCloud account logged in on the iPad. I watched her send desperate, pathetic messages for weeks. He never answered. The sad part? Even after all that, a small part of me still pitied her. She lost everything. Her lover. Her family's trust. Me. She sold the house a year later. Couldn't afford the payments. The debt followed her. Last I heard, she was living in a rented apartment near Federal Way, working at some dental office. Quiet. Alone. Me? I rebuilt. Took a while. Dated some. Didn't settle down. Not yet. But I sleep fine now. And I kept that voicemail from Trent. Every so often, I play it. Just to remind myself that sometimes, losing everything is how you win.